Hey, it's the Make Sense Again American, where everything I say makes absolute sense. Today's topic is going to be a topic nobody will ever talk about. I say that about another previous topic, but it's just that I like to bring the noise. I ought to be playing these games. Anyway, the topic I have to share with you today is called racism. Why you should give it a hug. Yeah, you gotta love racism, especially if you're a black man. How can a black man love racism? Yeah, I'm telling you the truth. And when I tell you, it's going to make complete sense. It's going to break my heart that it didn't happen, but that's on another topic. Anyway, let's begin, shall we? I'm going to talk about 1918. Now, first of all, World War I was in 1914, and they sent a lot of white boys out in the war to go ahead and die. It was over a man that got assassinated. Don't tell me what country he's from. I think it was Poland or Czechoslovakia, but it was, man, he got shot and everybody had to get shot. I guess it's like, join the party. Let's continuously do this. Anyway, so he got shot, and so everybody had to get shot, like I said. And there was segregation. So World War I, which costed millions of American lives, didn't involve you, black man. In other words, Woodrow Wilson wasn't having it. He wasn't having brotherhood and you mingling in World War I. That's not the part that gets to me. You see, racism happened when they came back from the war. There was a pandemic. It was called the Spanish flu. And it came from Spain. Just like the Chinese virus came from Wuhan, China. It's not racist, it's just what happened. And the Spanish flu, which originated in Spain, was given to a couple of soldiers in America. Lo and behold, 100 million people died. I believe worldwide, or if not America. Don't get me to lie. And nurses and doctors were dropping. I mean, they were fading. They were dying from this flu. They thought it was a common cold or maybe the sniffles. It turned out to be a pandemic, and everybody was dying. And the only thing that could keep the hospitals going was nurses. But like I said, they were fading. So what did they do? They locked down everything. They just said, let's everybody just stay home. Well, once again, black segregation kept you home. And also, black nurses weren't allowed to take care of white dying soldiers, which was a blessing, because of Woodrow Wilson, Democrat, because of his racism, he did not want no black, dark-skinned mammy taking care of a white hero. That had to save a lot of black lives. I don't think any black people were affected by the Spanish flu, not one, because like I said, you were segregated. And number two, you had no access to soldiers coming from other countries holding this virus. Because of the racism that Woodrow Wilson did, it saved your life. Generations and people that we never met before are here today because their life was saved. Example number two, how racism saved your life was, I'll give you just a quick example. This World War II, for example number two. In 1944, Roosevelt was president, and we all know about D-Day. Everybody knows about Dog Day, the beach of Normandy. On that day, 19,000 souls were gone. American souls were gone. That's just on that day alone when they stormed that beach. Also, you had a complete total of 400,000 lives gone. It's actually more than 400,000, but you know what I mean. Americans dead from World War II. None of them were black. There's a movie called the Tuskegee Airmen. They were not even sons of slaves. They were from Haiti. The friend of mine, God, what the hell's his name? He's not a friend of mine, but I like him on YouTube. I forgot his name because he hasn't done any videos. Oh, Kingface. He's told me they were Haitian, they were from Haiti. They weren't black. So black people didn't get to go to war. Why not? Well, because Roosevelt knew that if he gives black men the gun, then not only will they have a brotherhood with their other fellow white soldiers, but because Roosevelt, Democrat, racist, didn't want the black man to have any glory. If we win this war, then a black man can demand anything on this country. You know, rights and property and things like that. I can't have that. I mean, we already have to hear over and over again how the black man invented the red light. It was a black man, we invented the red light. It's like over and over again, we had to hear about this damn red light. Yeah, I get it. It's a red light, I'm at the red light. Yes, you invented it, the black man. Without the black man, we still be running into each other. But that's what I'm saying. You had that invention, and you never let us forget it. Every Black History Month. I don't know his name. I don't think anybody knows his name. I think the only way we'll know his name if the guy that invented the red light is if T.I. or Snoop Dogg, a rapper, says his name. But other than that, I don't know his name. That's something y'all need to have, not me. But yeah, he did invent the red light. But after all that, I mean, we always constantly have to hear about that. Well, can you imagine if the black man fought World War II and won and came home victorious? We'd have to hear that all the time. There'd be movies about widows saying, my husband was a World War vet and he needs to be here, blah, blah, blah. There were no people. There were no black folks. At the very end, black men went over there and I saw a documentary where they rescued the Jews, but they were just having a good old time party. The war was already over. Like I said, he did not want to give black man the glory. Racism helped your ass. If it were me, I'd have sent your You got to understand, after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, every red-blooded American wanted to go to war. They wanted to go to war. They not only met their quota, they over-exceeded the quota of going and putting on a military suit and putting on the combat boots. And black men were right there with them saying, I want to go to war too. That's my country too. They were beautiful brand of people. They were God-fearing. They dressed well. They spoke well. All they wanted was an education and fairness. That's all they wanted was equality. I wish I'd have given it to them. Be a lot less black people today. Why do I keep saying that? Why am I saying that racism is a bad thing? Well, it is. It saved your ass. You have to understand, if it wasn't for this racism, you would be a myth. You would be just some poem. You wouldn't even be here if it was not for racism. This makes absolute sense. Also, when it came to your freedoms, let's go there. The year was, I would say, well, Lyndon B. Johnson was president, Democrat, racist. He was God, there's a trend going on over here. But anyway, Lyndon B. Johnson was the president. And with every president, you want to make a great legacy. Now, what's Bill Clinton's legacy? A fat girl on her knees. What's George Bush's legacy? Americans on their knees during 9/11. And what's Ronald Reagan's legacy? Ronald Reagan, his legacy was, Gorbachev tear off this wall. That was actually more of a quote, but his legacy was a thriving economy after Jimmy Carter, Democrat, worthless, had only served one term, and this country was going to hell. It was all about capitalism, and it's a beautiful thing for now. Anyway, Ronald Reagan had a wife, which was First Lady Nancy Reagan, and she said, I want to do a war on drugs. We need to do a war on drugs. And she decided to campaign, say no to dope. Democrats, what they did was they were the ones that brought all the drugs into America, into the urban communities, and got them hooked on crack. This, I'm telling you, there's another video. It's called Democrats Like to Fuck Shit Up. But there's another video that I told you, and it gives you detailed information on how the Democrats did that. But yeah, they wanted to destroy Ronald Reagan's legacy. So when it comes to legacies, you don't want to be known as that president. Well, this is what's going on. Black people were marching all the time. I mean, it was always a march, and the song "We Shall Overcome" came out, and you had the American flags, you were waving and things like that. And the racist white man was right there making sure that, everybody's in line. But instead of just watching you march, he just took it to another level. And he brought the dogs, and he brought the water hose, and he brought the sticks, and he beat the crap out of these Bible, God-fearing men and women. He beat the crap out of them. How bad does it feel to get beaten up by your wife and then watching your wife get beat up, and you can't do anything, and all you want to do is march for equal rights? It was horrendous. And everybody was just celebrating. And when the dogs would bite the women, and black men knew not to bring their children. They brought young men over there, but they never brought like little babies. But they marched in hopes of getting the message out. And instead of pictures, see, we have those pictures, no whites allowed. And you have that picture where the white water fountain is next to the black water fountain. But this wasn't picture, this was actual moving video. And we watched all this violence over people that did nothing but want to march. And when you have that vivid, that vision on television, not only are you watching it, but the whole world is watching it, and they're embarrassing the president. Your stupid ass racism, you stupid white man, was your only demise because you gave everything to the black man. I mean, they had to been at the local bar right after they finished, getting the water hose and beating you down. Woo! Drinks are on me, everybody. Come here, Roscoe. That's a good boy. You bit that nigger. You did so good over there. Who give that dog a steak? Come on in, Tom. Hey, what's going on? Turn on the television set. Yeah, okay. Oh, I'm kind of tired. I was chasing that one. He was fast, man. Whoa. Watch. Yes. It's Robert Kennedy announcing that Martin Luther King has just been shot. 2 hours later. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and give black people their civil liberties. We're going to give them the right to vote, and we're going to give them equal rights. This is big. This has gone way too far. This is the worst day of my life. Your racism. How do you think Lyndon B. Johnson felt knowing that his legacy was going to be a bunch of rednecks with sticks and clubs? You idiot! You mean to tell me that you really thought that your violence was just going to be that much of an impact? That you were just not going to make a difference? It was the violence that caused people to change their mind. It was your violence and your racism that did all of this. Because of your hate, blacks now can move where they want to, where they want to move, and go to the same school as you and your children. You idiot! And that, my friends, my black brethren, is how racism helped your black ass. Yes, racism has done wonders for you. If racism was a person, you need to give it a hug. And if you're a black woman, give it some head. But I'm being for real. Racism helped you. Didn't help Mexicans. There was Operation Wetback, and they sent our asses back to Mexico. Talking about getting the bus. And there was nothing. They weren't chasing us. We were like, oh, shit, they got us. We'll try again tomorrow. That was it. But yeah, Operation Wetback was real. That was real. But they sent all the Mexicans back home by bus. And Mexicans decided to come back because, that's what we do. We come on back. But yeah, racism really has helped your ass. I mean, if you've never seen it before, you see it now. You need to embrace racism. You need to acknowledge racism. And you need to thank the white man for racism. Now, if it were up to me, I would have thrown your black nurses into the pit of hell with the other white nurses. If they get to drop, you get to drop. Equality. If it were up to me, I'd have put nothing but black men on the front lines of D-Day. Because if they get to die, then you get to die. How do you dare you take advantage of this country with all your benefits and everything like that? And didn't bleed one drop of blood, but you want to keep talking about civil rights and marching. Fuck out of here. Yeah, I'd have done that to you. Because I don't have to love you. And that's why I hate racism. Because racism saved your ass. Racism saved you, black man. It saved you. This is the Make Sense Again American, where everything I say makes absolute sense. You've been touched by an angel. God has a plan for you, and God wants you to do something well with your life. I want to take the time to honor the gentleman that was killed in the morning. It was 2 a.m. by St. Louis. Fellow black kids killed an officer. I think his name was Dworben. Anyway, I'm not a racist. I have a heart. I just hate badass kids. And here's the thing, man. Somebody give me a list of what to say. You know what I'm saying? We can't tell you to shut up at a movie because you'll get violent. You can't block us in traffic, and then when we honk our horn, you get violent. It's just, everything's just all about violence. Oh, and if a black man says the N-word, you get violent. I don't understand the theory with that. Do you hit him to make yourself feel better, or do you hit him to end racism? That's what I say. I'm a grown-ass man. I know my boss is a racist, and I told him, I don't care what you put on my time card as long as you get my hours right. See, I'm a grown-ass man. I don't care if he's a racist. What the hell that got to do with me? I get up in the morning, I do my job, and I do it damn good. He ain't firing me. And so when I do my job and I finish my job, I go home. And I get paid very, very well. That's what I do. Who cares if he hates the color of my skin? I don't give a damn. You see what I'm saying? You people y'all just want to fight and kill and hurt, even if it's each other. You want me to feel sorry for you or the Greg Floyd. I don't. I'm done. If y'all can't feel sorry for yourselves, why the hell should I? Never felt sorry for y'all. Glad we're not destroying our community over y'all dumb black asses. The fuck do I care? To hell with you. White people still want to be your best friend. White people still up all on tip. Man, you white people are morons. Anyway, this is the Make Sense Again American. Take racism, make a day out of it. and thank them. You should be dead today. You shouldn't even be alive. Jordan would not be here. LeBron wouldn't be here. Shaq wouldn't be here. Only a small portion of people would be here, and they'd be in check. That Spanish flu would have got y'all, though. That's the one that would have got y'all. If they'd had those black nurses go back home and bring that to y'all, y'all'd all be dead. It would have been 100 instead of 100 million dead. It'd be like 120 million dead. Oh yeah, but it wasn't, because like I said, God had your back. Somebody had your back. There was an angel right there. And World War II, the racism that he had, he wasn't letting that happen. All right, now I'm just rambling. I'm just repeating myself. You got the message. If you disagree with me, hit me back.